This is my ranking of every movie in the Scream franchise from worst to best. And coming in at number 7 is going to be Scream 7. It just has the weakest script of the entire franchise. The characters are super forgettable. The killer and the motive behind the killer was just laughable. The only positives that I had with it was seeing Sidney as a mom, and the kills in the movie were some of the most creative and brutal of the franchise. Coming in at number 6 is going to be Scream 3. It's the only one of the original run that wasn't written by Kevin Williamson, and you can really feel that in the script. It goes for a more campy vibe that can be fun at times, especially with Parker Posey's character. And I've always really liked the epilogue at the very end as a little wrap up to that original trilogy. Coming in at number 5 is going to be Scream 6. And I have the most complicated feelings on this one because for the first 3/4 of this movie, this was my favorite Scream sequel easily. I loved the ladder scene in between the two apartments. The opening was very subversive and creative, and I liked how mean Ghostface was. But once you get to the last like 15-20 minutes of the movie, it just completely falls apart. Also, Chad and Mindy's plot armor in Scream 6 needs to be studied. But coming in at number 4, I got Scream 5, and I felt like Scream 5 was a great return to the franchise. Does it play like The Force Awakens but for the Scream franchise? Yes. But I think it does that formula very effectively, and I like that it did take out a legacy character with Dewey. I'm also a big fan of the motive and killer reveals towards the end. Also, the performances from Jack Quaid and Mikey Madison are just really, really good. And coming in at number 3 is going to be Scream 4, because Jill is like my all-time favorite Ghostface. I think her reveal was the most surprised that I ever was watching one of these movies. And Emma Roberts gives a great performance as the character as well. I also love the meta commentary about horror reboots. Also, Jill's motive just aged like fine wine in today's society. I also got to give this movie props for having the most brutal kill in the franchise with the bedroom kill. Coming in at number 2 is going to be Scream 2, and this one just feels the most like the original Scream. I've always liked the college setting. Mickey and Miss Loomis are both underrated ghost faces, and it was the first time that we got the family revenge motive, so it was fresh at the time. And Mickey's motive being kind of an homage to trials within the 90s and him wanting to blame it on the movies was really cool. And Timothy-Olyphant has one of my favorite performances in this franchise as well. Scream 2 is also home to one of my favorite sequences in the entire franchise, with Gale running from Ghostface in the sound booth. I also really love the movie theater opening as well. But coming in at number 1 is the original Scream. Honestly, I don't know a single person that doesn't have Scream 1 at number 1 on their ranking. It's a perfectly written horror movie. It is my favorite horror movie of all time. I love both killers in this movie with Billy and Stu. I love how subversive and fresh this movie feels, even in the year 2026. I rewatched it in lead up for Scream 7, and it is just as good as the first time I watched it. The opening sequence is one of my favorite sequences in movie history. But y'all let me know what y'all's ranking of the Scream franchise is, and make sure to follow for more movie and TV show content just like this.